Hello, today I'm going to be explaining how to use Grasshopper to create a louvered panelled facade, and I'm going to show two different options of ways in which you can angle the louvers, one of which you can do a set value for all of the angles for each of the louvers, or we can use a graph mapper tool which allows us to change certain areas of which are angled and which aren't. To begin this exercise, we just want to start in by referencing a curve. And I'm just going to reference in this one. And now we need to start by constructing a set of points or planes along that curve. So I'm just going to start by doing per frames. And I'm just going to reference in the curve. And then I'm going to change the count. I'm going to do 80 to start off with and see how many that gives me on this. It's quite a lot. Maybe change it down to 60 for the moment. So now that I have that referenced in, I need to start by creating a domain box. And we need to set values for this certain domain box. So I'm just going to set up the values. So I'm going to go construct domain like that. And I'm going to set these values. So I want to reference in the length of it. So I'm going to do one number slider setting at 0. I'm just going to edit these values. I'm just going to set the max value just to 20 for now. I'm just going to copy and paste that, and maybe I might make that whole value 20. So now we can just add that into the end and add this into the start. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this. And now I'm going to do the width of the panel. So I'm just going to change the values of this. I'm going to make it just to a maximum value of 1. And now I can start referencing in the information. So I'm just going to link the frames to the base, and I'm going to link the total length to the Y and the total to the X. And now we don't need to have this displayed, so I'm going to turn preview off. And as you can see, we've now got our panels. I also might want to adjust the depth, so I'm just going to set it at 0.5. And as you can see now that they've got a bit of depth, and you can adjust this like that. So now that I have the louvers drawn, we need to do a deconstruct plane. And I need to reference in the frames. And now from this, we need to create the rotation. So I'm just going to do rotate 3D. And I'm just going to link in the domain box with the origin to the center and the y-axis to the axis. And that changes the axis of which it's orientated. Now you can see that it's all the louvers are orientated against the curve. So I can actually turn off these ones, so we don't need to display it. And now this is where we can start adjusting the angle. So I'm going to show the basic angle adjustment where it's just by one value. So the what we need to do is just reference in radians. So I'm just going to type that in. And I need to set a multiplication. And I'm going to link that to the degrees. And I need a value for that multiplication. So I'm just going to set it at 45 to start off with. And this will be our angle of rotation. And then I'm just going to link the radians to the angle. So as you can see, now all the louvers are angled to a 45-degree angle. And you can adjust this as need be. So that is quite helpful. I can now show you this other option. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this whole script. And what I just need to delete is this. And now instead, we can use the graph mapper tool. So I'm just going to start by doing the same thing, just referencing in that second curve, just so we can compare the two results. And I need to set a range. So I'm just going to type in range. And my range will be the numbers of how many we've got. So that just goes into steps. And then I just need the graph mapper. And I can set that here. And we link it to the angle. So now we want to set the type of graph we want. So I'm going to set it to the sine summation. And now, as you can see, they are all kind of angled on different angles. And if I start to adjust the boxes inside the sine summation, it starts to adjust the angles of which the louvers are at a certain point. So if you were to say that maybe this section of the facade gets more or less sunlight, you might want to open up that area if it gets less sunlight so you can get more sunlight inside it. So this is a great exercise, and this can then be analysed using a ladybug simulation in Grasshopper, and you can analyse the effects of the louvered panel facade on the inside environment. So this is a great tool to create a very quick parametric facade using kind of two different methods depending on your needs for the building. And that is all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.